Well, everything looks normal. I had trouble accessing some particular websites earlier today, but it looks like the upload rate's fine at least, or the stream up rate, whatever. I don't have any dropped frames, so everything looks okay. As far as names starting with T goes, there's still quite a bit of it left. Yeah, that's gonna take a while, probably. So last time we did Temporal Adventure, so Terra Kempt Resonant would be the next one, and this is by Chaco. Beethro is walking to a friend's house in order to get some advice. On the way, a thunder snowstorm starts. Beethro spots a suspicious-looking building and decides to investigate, because I guess that advice he was looking for could wait. Alright. Beethro approaches the strange building. 2007. Brr, it's getting really cold now. I think I better go into this building for shelter until the storm stops. What if I don't, though? Yeah, I'd like to go onwards, but I think I should investigate this building. Besides, it's cold and thundery. No point in going back the way I came. Okay, have your bases covered. Doors instantly close behind him? Probably. What have we got in here? Machinery, pipes. I gotta go downstairs and see what this place is. Light switch. Yeah, that didn't really help much, did it? Well, why not shut the door against any possible monsters that might start wandering in? When a person sees some force arrows of which there are no ways to go around, they can act in one of two ways. The first is to boldly step forward into the unknown, facing whatever may lay ahead. The second is to boldly step forward into the unknown, turn around and run into the wall, and then scream for help. Okay. Well, I guess we know what sort of person Beethro is. This architecture looks vaguely familiar. And you don't just build a huge building in the middle of nowhere for no reason. So, like, was Beethro taking a new route that he didn't usually use to reach his friend's house? I'm sure the owner of this building didn't intend for this to be a dead end. Well, I made my choice. Let's see if I regret it. Hello. At least it's nice and warm in the beneath. And I wonder how this pool of water looks odd, almost like a sea. Who do I know whose name starts with C? I wonder how the underground is kept warm, exactly. Ormite deployment zone, surface entryway. Why indicate the surface when I can't go back? This sign would have been placed better if it were before that force arrow line. Also, I really appreciate the sign graphic for the talk thing. That's pretty great. There are these little bugs on the floor here. Those bugs just left with my blade. It's a good thing I sheathed my sword in time. So I guess in the Chaco canon, this is the first time Beethro ever encountered Ormites. I don't like the looks of this. Oh man, a 13th place tie. That's the wrong way. I want to go this way, yeah? Oh, well, that maybe is what I want to do. Or not. Oh, no, okay. Just use this, or use this to pull him south. There we go. That was easy. Then slide it this way. There we go. Now I can go get this orb. Oh wait, that's where I came from. 31st place. So, trapdoors. Yes. I don't see any reason to not go ahead and hit these trapdoors before I go past the Force Arrow. Looks to me like I need a mimic for each section, and those Ormites are going to make them behave differently. Okay. So, where should the mimics start exactly? Let me back up. Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of this construction. I don't think there's anywhere that I'm expressly required to start the mimics out. Not that I can tell. I guess the East Mimic should hit this bomb when he's done with his job, or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna try doing this and see what happens. Actually, I don't really seem to have a way out of this little passage, so probably I wasn't supposed to enter that way. There we go. Oops. So, I guess I need that to not happen somehow. So maybe that mimic shouldn't start in there? I don't think it matters too much where I start them, as long as both can survive continuing to move around. I have no way to bump that mimic farther south than that. So maybe neither of them should start in those pockets. This is all really awkwardly constructed. So eventually, I guess Beethro can clean up any mess that's left over from that mimic's work? I'm really not sure. Oh well. yeah, that's kind of a problem. I have to hit every trapdoor at some point. So maybe this mimic should start here? That's the only way I could see him to ever hit that button. Then he still can't get out, though. I feel like I'm missing something very obvious about this room that should make it a lot obvious. Why did that blow that up? Anyway, I feel like I'm missing something really obvious about this room that I just don't see. Like, generally, when you set up a mimic puzzle like this, it's supposed to be really obvious where you start the mimics. So either that's an intended part of the puzzle, or I'm just missing something really obvious that's supposed to tell me that information. I don't know what. Well, what do I actually need the mimics to do? Since there's no way for Beethro to ever go east, this mimic needs to... the east mimic needs to somehow open both of these doors, which requires opening both of these doors, and then he needs to go and kill both of these roaches, because there's no other way for these roaches to die. The other mimic just needs to open this door by pushing that button, and everything else on that side Beethro can do himself, right? No, I have to clear the room before Beethro can finish off any remaining trapdoors here. So this mimic also needs to somehow open both of those doors, which means opening both of those doors, and kill both of those roaches from the position on top of those doors. I have no idea. There is no way for this mimic to survive the north area here unless those bombs have been exploded for him, which can only happen by this mimic killing himself against the bomb here, after finishing off the roaches. But none of that matters because somehow this guy is supposed to hit this button without dying, which is not physically possible. So maybe those buttons are a complete red herring? Except that someone still has to hit this trapdoor, and this mimic is the only one who can do it. What am I missing? There's this cracked wall here, which this mimic could use to, like, hole himself up inside of and desync with the other one, except I don't see any real reason to start them in sync either. This is just really exceptionally confusing. Hi, I'm trying to figure out a room from you from 2007. So I can't figure out how I'm ever supposed to hit this button, which has to be hit at some point. So instead of actually working on that, I'm just sort of going through the motions with the West Mimic. Because at least I know what to do with him. Or at least I think I know what to do with him. I mean, it looks impossible to press, but it can't be impossible to press because somehow I have to hit this trapdoor. I don't know. Alright, and that's everything that the East Mimic, that the West Mimic should do. Yeah, I don't know. That's farther back than I know to go. It's fine, none of these really matter that much. So, put you... not like that. Put you there. Put you, I don't know, here, I guess. Yeah, earlier Avithra was like, oh hey, what's this weird thing? When referring to Ormites. That's the opposite of what I want. So I'm just trying to have the West Mimic do everything of his while preventing the East Mimic from doing anything during that time, because I think the first thing the East Mimic wants to do is going to require the bomb to have exploded. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I don't think that the trapdoors in Bithro's zone over on the west are vital or anything. I've just been going out of my way to avoid hitting them just in case. I feel like I've had too many situations like this where the apparently meaningless trapdoors there are some kind of trap where dropping them too soon will make it impossible to do something later, so I'm just being excessively careful with that. Alright, so now... and I think that's everything that he needed to do. Now it's up to the East Mimic, and I'm no longer doing simultaneous mimicking. Wait around for the bomb, open the door, and now he can get into that pocket and push the buttons. Presumably. You didn't even need to push those buttons. Sorry about the loud explosion. can only sort of see one side of the room at the same time with my eyes. There we go. Okay. Now, I never needed those trapdoors, I think. I guess it's okay if he sacrifices himself to do that. And then the whole door passage exists just so Beethro could clean up one last trapdoor, I guess. Alright then. Okay, back to roach fussing. I guess I want those guys in the pockets there, maybe? Not totally sure. Maybe not. Yeah, I probably wanted those guys to die to that bomb, maybe? Since there doesn't seem to be anything else to do to kill them. So the arrow traps are, in fact, things you don't want them to be trapped on. That's going to lead me in circles. But one of them could stay there, maybe, that way. It's just that I need both of them to stay there instead. Yeah, but I don't see any other way to accurately kill them. There's nowhere else that I can actually have a sword of any kind to kill them with. And the decoy has to be used there, even if there was some way to make a sword with the decoy. Yeah, no, looking around the room, there is nowhere else. There are no other things that can kill roaches in the whole room except for that bomb. Because Beethro can't kill roaches without some way to, put his sword on them. And there's no way to do that. There won't be any new ways to kill roaches after exploding the bomb. I don't think. Well, never mind. I just didn't see that mostly. Anyway. South. Weirdly picky tunnel here. I guess you wanted him to be facing south to begin the cutscene. Who? Beethro Budkin. Chaco. Wait, he knows a person named Chaco? You aren't supposed to be here. This location was kept secret. How did you find this place? Well, I was trying to go to my friend's house, except that for some reason I took a different route and wound up here. Well, never mind. I have more important matters to attend to. You'll never make it far enough to meddle with my scheme. What, you have a scheme now? Okay. What's your deal, Roach? Do I not want you on the... I guess I probably didn't want you on the arrows. What did I do that for? Note to self, proper timing is essential, says Chaco. Okay. Yeah, timing is generally kind of important. I'll need to keep stabbing these water skippers to get them out of my way. Okay. I definitely understand what's going on here. I don't really know how... I mean, I assume that this is a thing where when the bombs go off matters a whole lot for some reason, but I don't know what that is. Okay, so the idea is to make sure that the queen dies. How would I do that? Go back. So we don't want her to spawn a roach in front of herself there. Which means that doing it just one turn earlier? Earlier. Maybe. One turn earlier should be it. Maybe. So, instead of turn 28, make it turn 27. Oh, wait. That was wrong. Now I'm all mixed up. Hang on. Did this, then I did that, then this. So I should do it on turn 2. I think. Well, experiment and check. Okay, so we actually want her to spawn exactly when she walks here. So 2 turns later than I did this time. No. Now she spawned way too early. If I walk immediately in and do only the moves completely necessary to go there, then what does my timing wind up being? Perfect! Okay. Weird. Except that happened. What? What's up with this? Yeah, okay. What did I do wrong? I mean, I'm perfect with respect to queen timing, so I don't see how I could have timed anything else differently. Unless it was... Is that what I need to do? I don't feel like I did anything different, maybe, but... Okay, no, that was perfect. So this is designed such that perfect timing constitutes walking in and immediately going to the place. And you get a first place tie if you have perfect timing. So what I did differently was instead of going here and then south, I just went straight southwest and then killed the west water skipper. So he died exactly 1 turn earlier than he did otherwise. Oh, hey, there's cracked walls here. What did that sign say? I wasn't even paying attention at all. Golem Grounds, Garden Access Passage, Ormite Deployment Zone, Water Skipper Timing System, Ormite Mimic Interaction Subcomplex. Okay. Oh, okay. By subcomplex, we mean secret room. Be sure to disarm yourself before entering this area. There is a very high concentration of Ormites. Just like that, I have no sword. Well, at least I get it back at the end of the room. Yeah, let's, okay. Sure. So what's this about? Double stabbing, it looks like? So to double stab here, with the placement of the... I need to think about this for a second. So the only way I could think of to double stab here is if they're crossing their swords. So I need this guy to be that way when the other guy is, well, this way. So that's 2 turns away. So I think this should do, maybe? Yeah, that's the right facings. And then I just need to get them in the right place. Duh. Just diagonal stab there. I've made exactly that, like not identically, but I've made a puzzle based on double stabbing this same kind of way. It's just that you're given the facings for free in that case. Also, I didn't start them correctly because they're actually supposed to start in here, I guess. So that's fun. Wait. Okay, so I have plenty of opportunity to set things up here. So now I want him 2 turns away, so that's right. And then there's this. Is this a button? That's a pressure plate, but I don't see a good reason to actually use it, which is a little odd. So the sign graphic is canon, is what you're saying. Oh, there we go. Is this the right alignment? This isn't quite right. I need to do that, but in a different place. Yes? No? Maybe? No. Oh, there we go. Okay. I just need both of them to survive now. So I need to unpick them. There we go. Not too hard. Overall, I'd say. But mostly because I already kind of know what to do in this situation in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's just, like, overall it felt strategically better to not close this, to not go this way, because I needed to go west anyway in order to exit here with a mimic instead of getting him trapped on an orb. This door is interesting, though. I don't think there's any reason you couldn't have them face the same way, ultimately. I just, I don't know, I jumped to thinking of doing that for whatever reason. Anyway. Alright, Golem Grounds. I assume that's the finish the game passage over there, which requires you to beat a bunch of other things. When in a dungeon, it is always a good idea to assume that anything that moves is attempting to kill you in some fashion, whether by direct means such as biting you to death, or by more insidious means such as causing you to become trapped or blocked. More of these golems. Are these just a new monster showing up in dungeons? Or something worse? What do you mean more? I'm not sure in what context the more is occurring here. Whatever. So... Ormite Deployment Zone, Golem Grounds, Rocky Tunnel Observation Area. So there's something going on with this guy. You're meant to push this and then run around and get him from the other direction? Yeah, because you can only be in an orthogonal direction of that golem one time, for one turn. So that's all there is to that. Pardon me a second. Allergies. Alright. So I just need to go in here. There we go. Okay. This looks more like a waste disposal room. Though there might be something more to it. These weird golem shoots going on here. I probably don't want them stuck in there. I'll just clear them in. Makes sense enough. Did I want to do that? Well, I won't be punished for doing that at least. Okay. I'll wait on that guy to come down the chute. Now wait on that guy to come down the chute. And wait on that guy to come down the chute. It's probably not a big deal anyway. Essentially lampshading a, what's it called, downgraded boss trope situation. Something that used to be a boss is now a regular enemy kind of thing. Anyway. Hooray! There's a golem over there. Is he a scripted? He is. Also, I can't get to that side of the room from here. Wait, do I need these guys for something? I don't see anything I could possibly hope to need those for. Ormites and golems. I don't know where they came from. I don't know why they're here. But I know I really don't like either. Okay. So I need to open this, and that means going through this passage and blowing up the bomb, I guess. But not the wrong bomb? Or something like that. When that closes, the only things that bomb will explode will be like around here and maybe there. Well, when in doubt, I will bash my head into things. So, what exactly actually happens if I do this? Yep. And then that will close, after which... Wait. I didn't waste any time, did I? Oh no, I did make some accidental bump moves. So this is a completely forced path, after which a bomb explodes that area right there. So in theory, I want to result in that guy standing somewhere around there. And in practice, that's going to require getting these golems into a position where that will allow me to do things. Yep. I think the very first thing I need to do is work out where to put the first golem. So maybe here? If I put the first golem there, then where does he try to go? He'll try to go east, he'll try to go west, but maybe I can just put a second golem in his way so he can't. Has anyone ever made, you know that like ice-type Pokemon Suicune? Has anyone ever made a like a pun Sui can't? Probably not. It doesn't even quite work. I know the Angry Video Game Nerd once made the pun "Sure you can't" on "Sure you can." Sure you can. I'm just going to try to wall him off from going west. I mean, that's probably not the right idea since it uses a lot of golems to do something somewhat trivial, but I want to try and see what happens. Right, next he's going to try to go southeast. That's okay. I'd just like him to stop sometime. So maybe... put a guy kind of... Is that it? Hold on. Is that it? Yeah. So put a guy there. I probably have used too much golems to actually achieve the goal, but let's see. Alright, so that happens if I do it this way. And then the place where I kind of want him to stand is... well, not there. The force arrows next to the bomb are set up kind of funny. Not sure what that's about. So at this point, the problem is kind of that he runs south, and I'd like him to not do that. Kinda. Okay. Oh wait, I can't put a guy there unless I go a very long way around to do so. Well, I'm not sure this is the right thing to do, but... Alright, I'm not really sure of exactly how to fix this, but I don't have to do this room to see more anyway. So I'm just gonna keep wandering around for now. Hey, there's a door over there, but the pressure plate is on the other side. My head must be getting out of whack. But I think there was a staircase by that golem. They might lead to this plate. Okay. Sure, I guess. What is this? So this will make a really, really long fuse that then opens that door and toggles this. And, yeah, okay. What happens if I just leave things the way they start? Then the snake dies. The explosions open some doors. The roach gets stuck. And nobody's happy, I guess. Okay. Now what's up with this anyway? Okay, so suppose I don't let the snake instantly die. What the snake will naturally do is wander off into there and still get himself killed. So this is protect the snake from its own idiocy long enough for it to get in the way of the roach. And then somehow also kill the roach? I'm not really sure how that last part is meant to work. I guess you want the roach to be able to make it up here, which means that it needs to be stuck against the snake for a really long time. This is indirect snake manipulation, basically. Snake manipulation by Golem. So, this is a multiple of 5, which means that its cycle is determined in the sense that I don't have to control that. So you'll always be on the same cycle when I let him in to the area. So, okay. I think the best idea is just to make sure that he takes the longest path possible. I'm not sure which path that's going to be, but maybe I'll walk this way next. So then he'll come all the way down, he'll start going east. He might want to go south, but maybe I won't let him. I don't know. Let's see what he'll try to do, actually. Oh, he'll go way to the south. And then he'll start going north for no apparent reason. Yeah, that's why I should test this sort of thing. So given that he's going to start going north for no apparent reason, I should probably put a guy here to keep him going north so that he wastes more time wandering around. And then he'll keep going north. Then he'll kind of wander around here. I guess ultimately what I want is for him to not go that way, so... Or is it? No, yeah, okay. I don't want him to go that way. So I'll just block this. Up, and then he wanders this way. Oh, when the door opens, I need to start going right away, right? Or not right away, but... Yeah, that's about right, I think. No, one turn too early, I think. Yeah, make the snake block the roach so that I can make it up here. That's a problem. So I can't do this because the roach will be stuck. Or can I? Actually, I think I can. The roach is not stuck if I just guide him a little bit. There we go. Take advantage of all the control you have over the situation. Huh. Okay. What? I opened the door. What the heck? Squishy, no smash me, I help. Well, this is weird. Whoa, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, go on and open the door, or I'll smash you from way over here somehow. Yeah, this makes sense. Player roles. Sometimes, even when you meet a person of a type you do not like very much, circumstances may force you to work together. There is nothing about this situation that forced the golem to work with Beethro. He just decided on his own that he wanted to help for some reason. Okay. Well... No. What's the sword do? Nothing useful. I don't know why I thought it would, given that that was the only door in the room was there. And this is well before arrow events. Well, this isn't the answer. Yep, those buttons do those things. I don't think I've played very many rock golem roles, to be honest. I'm not terribly familiar with the noises he makes. It feels like I'm meant to somehow set up move order or something in a way where these don't all come in at once. But I don't feel like I have enough control to actually make that happen. What's this button do? Well, it's something that I need to do later anyway, so... That wasn't too hard. Oh, also accidentally, that roach is no longer in the way. Hooray! Or not? That's pretty great. Yeah, what is this? Oh, there we go. That should have been much simpler for me to figure out. Okay. Let you out here. Okay. And now I can exist here, I guess. And do that by way of existing there. Oh! Oh, a choice. I can go south or I can go east. Here's a basically makeshift power token. Here's a you can't push this because there's a snake on it. So we need there to not be a snake on it, basically. Is my goal to put a snake on another island or something? I don't know. How do I even get you off this for more than half a second? Well, that was one step. Ah. There we go. I sure hope I don't need that guy for something right now. I guess ideally I'd like to do this and kill the snake, right? Unless I need him for something. Which I'm sort of hoping that I don't. Ah. What a pain that is. Alright, I guess I'll kill these roaches then. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. I have to get him on and off this platform like 3 times before I can actually get it to where I need him to. There we go. Well, not 3 times. That was an exaggeration, you know. There we go. Now I can cart this platform all the way around the world. Presumably I need to get rid of these guys. And then push him in here, I guess. There we go. Okay, now I can go here, but I didn't interact with that room over there yet, which I guess I need to. I guess technically I should have done this room first, but I had no way of knowing that before. Those golems no like me. They no like squishies. I show them. They all die now. Okay. We went from those guys are slightly racist to I'm gonna murder all of them very quickly. Granted, I guess they would probably murder Beethro if they had the opportunity, so whatever. So is this golem's motivation just that he kind of likes humans for some reason? Oh, I didn't really... Okay, that's all one platform. That's what I didn't notice. Granted, they're all a lot less smart than this particular golem. He's even smart enough to push platforms around, and they're not smart enough to not get on platforms. Honestly, insofar as things that are in the player's way that they want to get out of their way so they can finish things. What? Oh. Green doors fit that mold kinda well. Hey, Popper! I know read Popper. Squishy's able to read Popper. Okay. This is just a list of where all the secret rooms are, I guess. I open door. I tell Squishy. Squishy not smash golem. I'm not clear on his motivation. Like, before he seemed like, oh, I'm afraid of you, so I'm gonna do what you want. Huh, that's interesting. I bet you could do that with scripting. You could still make that happen with scripting. You could make it so that a scroll is unreadable for a certain player role or something. What you'd have to do is set it so that the what you'd have to do is set it up so that the contents of a scroll were a variable, like a string variable, and then you would have to make it. You'd have to set the variable depending on who's reading, kinda, or the state of the variable or whatever. When the player does something, they can. It is always consoling to know that important tasks can usually get done regardless of differences in opinion. After having dug a small pit between himself and a rock column. Okay. Well, no more conversation, I guess. Hey, the golem did open the door. How about that? Secret room. Whoa, what's that in that cage there? I am from a different time, a different place. Wait a second, how can this whole situation be possible if I haven't yet... It isn't. Regardless, I still doubt your ability to clear this non-existent room. Okay. Yeah, I didn't say anything. Anyway. So, hey, I guess Vithro hasn't met Omfliches yet, despite like 6 of them being used in previous mechanisms for things. Alright, so what's the deal here? Ah, okay. So, what, all I need to do is put this golem's body in a good place? Maybe? Yeah, you're from a different time and place. There we go. Roach is just sort of in my way. I'd like to kill him. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to make that happen once again with scripting if you really wanted to. Like, not even in terms of illiterate, but you could have like a character, you could have the player character, say Vithro or whatever, actually learn a new, clearly you demonstrate proper technique with this new situation, but do you still have the ability to actually remove me from the room? Yeah, that was easy. Yep. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So you could do the thing like if, say, Vithro or whatever the player character is needs to learn a new language or something, or like it's a coded message. You could put the coded message or an unreadable message in a scroll in the variable and then later change it to whatever it should be. I'm surprised you made it as far as you have. I thought the door would stop you. Alright, spill it. What are you doing down here in this room? In this building? Why, whatever are you talking about? We've got these Ormites and Golems, the likes of which no Smite Master has ever seen, and puzzles, Chaco, puzzles. You couldn't just kill all the monsters in each room because of the things you built in each room. Okay? You are clearly wasting my time here. However, in case you didn't notice previously, you are trapped in this building. So even in the clearly false circumstance that I was up to anything in here, you have absolutely no way to prove anything. Yeah. As long as you don't want something to take place on the original 8th, anyway. By the way, there are rooms in the west that have monsters in them. You are unable to clear them, so the blue door in this level will stay up. Ta-ta! Caverns of Cavernousness. Golem Avoidance Subsystem. Golden Grounds. But yeah, so it's not very clearly stated, I don't think, but the whole idea with Blockature is that Beetho's supposed to be encountering that while he's exploring around the world after the flipping. I don't know, is that spoiler? Should I not say that? I think the idea here is, I don't know. Yeah. The construction here suggests to me that I should kill all these guys without letting them move. So I'm gonna try to do that. I mean, it's a little weird because I'm not sure why them moving and putting the pressure plate, letting that happen. Well, I used the wrong name entirely for it myself just now, but yeah, it's much more fun to do it to mess with the player's head and have scrolls say different things when they return to them in the same hold or something. I don't know. Yep. So this is kind of... This is kind of like a room where you need to be careful where you move because of wubbas, except that instead of wubbas, it's rock golems, and you can eventually kind of open pathways by killing them, which is kind of neat. I can't go that way because that would cause a problem, so I'll need to go back around, I think. I need to get to that guy from here, like that. Alright, now why did I need to do it this way? Because the golem goes to the snake and not the other way around, which I was very confused about, despite that not being hard to figure out at all. Okay then. Caverns of Cavernousness. It is a necessity to monitor all problems present at any given moment. If you aren't watching something, it may grow in proportion until it becomes a real bother to deal with. Yeah, I guess they didn't really learn that about the Briar, did they? Yeah. You could have a place where it's impossible unless you actually make sure to not kill an earlier guy so that he'll actually move off a plate at the same time as another guy. That'd be pretty cool. If you wanted to really broadcast the possibility of that solution, you could make it so that some plates open and some plates toggle. It's a wubba! It's a regular wubba! Oh man! It's an adder! It's a regular adder. I don't know why I said that the first time. Whoa, adders down here. I better strike them flat on the skull if I want to kill them. So Beetho hadn't heard of Ormites before, but he has heard of adders, despite that also being a PCB element. I can't go west anymore, so I guess I'll have to go north. Okay. Sure. Okay, we're doing some passage things. Well, yeah, but I mean the gel was forbidden, so who's to say the adders weren't? Okay, whoever made the room look like an adder did a terrible job, but the fact that it is here means that this was definitely planned. These puzzles must be guarding something, some secret worth defending with things I've never seen. Okay, so he hasn't seen things before, but he has? Sure. What's this do? This does that. Is that a thing that I want to happen? Probably, except I should probably kill the other adder first. We're learning so much today. This is kind of a non-event. Oh well. It's an adder with like a tumor coming out of the side of its body right here. That's what it is. That adder's not going to live very long, even if Beetho doesn't cut its head off. Anyway, golems. Okay. Yep. That's So we need to go through there, have the adder eat some things, and then go back down through here, I guess. Alright. I don't think I need every single one of these several golems, I just need 5 of them. This is exactly the sort of room where you can do a nasty trick and require the player to actually keep one of the golems alive for some reason, but I'm hoping that that's not something that's going to happen here. By which I mean keep a golem alive on the pressure plate, as opposed to killing him on the pressure plate, for some reason. Anyway. Alright, I just need to get one guy to the north somehow. Actually, maybe I shouldn't kill you. I should, What I should do is get the north plate first, because that's going to be kind of tricky to get something to. So let's pull both of these here. Get him going up there. Alright, that should be more doable, I hope. Although perhaps I should also favor the west over the east. Actually, I do have a problem here. I need to put 2 guys in the box and then kill both of them on the way out of the box. That's what I need to do. You're not very favorably placed. Neither are you, but he'll do. Alright, this is pretty neat. Alright, I don't think I need those other guys, at least I hope not. Alright, time for the adder to do his job. And eat rocks. That can't taste good to the adder, can it? I mean, I guess he eats them whole, so maybe they do taste good. Maybe there are nutrients in rocks, in specifically rock golem bodies, that the adder can process and other monsters can't. And that's why adders are the natural predators of the rock golem. There's a wubba here. Did I cause that to happen somehow? Oh, do I just need the adder to go eat that before I can go in? Probably. So how do I make the adder go in there? That's good. What's interesting is we had player roll, but we had no power tokens earlier. So either, I guess, Fagundos are being saved for a later level, or perhaps power tokens aren't used at all. Either one could happen. So did I mess up and cause the wubba to be in my way, or actually, hang on. There's not much in the way of checkpoints, so I'm not sure whether I saved before releasing the adder or not, but I just noticed something that would make this much easier to do. There's just this out-of-the-way orb that doesn't look relevant until you realize you need to do something specific regarding the door it opens. Alright. La-ti-da. Hey, okay, whatever, that's fine. At least you ate everybody. Oh, okay, this time he did it without even interacting with that at all. Except that he's too long and all the doors are still shut. Sure, but for the most part we don't eat rocks. Like, some animals use rocks to help them digest food, but that's still different from eating rocks themselves. The things that eat rocks are generally like bacteria and plants and not moving creatures. So I hope this is what I was supposed to do. No, I think this will work. Actually, maybe... this is a little weird. I guess I need to do something else here. So in some way I need to make the adder go into that area. But I could still go around through here along the way first, right? Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I need to hit this button at some point anyway. Except that this is shut. Okay. I guess I need the adder coming in behind me and then I push this button. But once again, he can't be closing the doors on himself. Okay, he's just too long. I need to fix that. It's sort of weird that Adder has this kind of halfway rule for shrinking itself, which rattlesnakes don't. Perfect. There we go. What's to the south? Hooray! We don't want to do that. Where does this go? Oh boy, this looks complicated. Where does the mimic even start here? So this button's going to close something way over there. I guess the mimic goes on that button. Okay. Sure, I guess. And he's stuck there forever. Guess he could kill things for me if I lead them there. Here's a button that doesn't do anything good. There's a bunch of wubbas in this room. Yep. Okay. So I can release an adder that way. If I can get the wubbas out of here and out of my way. That's good enough, right? Almost. There we go. I think I just want the adder to eat all the wubbas, probably. Or at least some of them. Hello? There you are. Thank you. I don't think the adder's length is relevant necessarily, but I just want to not have wubbas behind me in general. Oh, is it? I mean, I'm looking at it, but I don't understand it. So I'm just gonna try having it eat everyone, and if that's not the solution, then I guess I'll try something else. Yeah, okay. I don't understand this. So is the idea that he's supposed to be really short? Despite the fact that he needed to eat pretty much everything. I mean, he needed to at least eat those golems. So am I just supposed to bulk him against himself somewhere and make him shorter? I'm not very good at doing this part. Okay, well now he's 7, so... yeah, I don't know. That's not really much easier, though, with all the lava's all over the place. This is about as painful as trying to make it get itself smaller by bonking into itself would be. Gee, thanks. I really needed you to push that button, mister. Could you maybe not do that, though? That would really help me a lot more. You're not doing that, you know? Yeah, that's better. Maybe don't get stuck on a force arrow for no reason. Hello? I'm out here. I just want you to go in the stupid hole without eating any llamas. I feel like I'm rolling a ball around. One of those ball maze things. I'm just trying to make the physics work exactly right. Obviously there aren't physics involved here, strictly speaking, but it feels the same way. Oh, and now he's decided to go way up there again for some reason. And then he's decided to bonk himself against a force arrow for some reason. I just keep feeling like I'm close enough that I don't or shouldn't have to go all the way to that much trouble. How about while he's wandering around up there, I do something else? There. Sheesh. Oh wait, I can't push him ahead of me because of this stupid button. Really though? Both ways? Not really. Because even when he's all the way up there, I still have to control him to keep him from eating all of the Wubbas ever. Like, could you not have at least let just one Wubba get eaten? Why did it have to be every single one that stayed alive? It's like getting a sticky fluid stuck to your fingers and not being able to wash it off with anything. That's what it feels like to have Wubbas stuck behind you like that. Sometimes. Would you not get on the arrow, please? No. No, I'm west of you. Why are you going east? You know what? That's fine. I'll take it. Why not? There, he ate one anyway. Completely not on purpose, even a little bit. I completely forgot there was a roach way up at the top of the room, and I was like, why didn't the room clear for just a second? I'm not sure what the purpose of this roach is, necessarily. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything about this room that requires the roach there particularly, but I don't know. Okay. I guess that's an exit from a secret that you enter from somewhere else. Adders. Here's the way to the next level. I've been at this particular hold for quite a while now. Alright, I've enjoyed this hold, but I feel like I should at least look at one other. Oh hey, I've heard about these. Should I start with this, or should I start with that? I think they're called this and that. So that I should start with this, right? Alright, they're kind of both parts of the same thing somehow or something, I don't know. However you look at it, this is this hold, not that hold, though that hold is that hold. It's easier to talk about this hold while meaning this hold and not that hold, even if that hold is also almost as valid to talk about. This is not this hold, but if we said something about that hold, you probably wouldn't think that we're talking about that hold, but this hold, which would be completely wrong. Third base. Beethro knew that this is not this hold. What he knew is that is better to do first, because for some reason someone made a decision that this is harder than that. And for that other reason. Oh, so I should do that first? Hold on. Beethro knew that this is not that hold. He didn't mind. That hold didn't mind either, but it wished Beethro knew what this hold needs from this hold. Okay. I'll just try this one first. Use special command key to place roaches. Use special command on an orb to regain control of Beethro. Yes. Okay. This is a mechanic. I can't put a roach on a button, apparently. Can I leave the room? Okay. Place a decoy. Adder behaves like a normal adder. Beethro is never targeted. Use special command on the fire trap to release adder and regain control of Beethro. Release adder? What do you mean release? Oh, this kind of release. Duh. So, yeah, okay. So what's the goal here? I guess I want that guy to kill this, which means that he needs to hit these orbs. There's a bunch of those up there. I'm not sure if that's relevant. And I also need to hit all of these. Oh boy. But I don't want to hit these, I don't want to hit these, I just want to hit those. Because this is that hold and not this hold, which is called that, but not this. Oh wait, what do these do again? Okay, these also close that door, so I don't want anyone to push these. So it's actually kind of a good thing that roaches aren't allowed on those. Oh, thank you, sir. That's what I needed from you. Not this, but that. I think this will make him turn his sword. No. Will this? Yes. So I'm not sure how to make this guy hit that orb. Okay, my cursor can't go up there, so I thought I might maybe put a roach up here with these. Oh, those aren't real. Okay. I thought I might have put the roach up there and let the puffs kill it so that he would actually be inclined to do a thing, but I didn't actually have the option of doing that. So I need to time this in such a way that these go up exactly when he's about to do that, so one more turn early, I think. Yeah. Oh, well, that's not right. Maybe I can repair this, though? Yeah, okay, cool. He stepped out. I'm not sure of how... Oh, wow, we don't want that. How do I make him hit this orb? Is what I'm trying to say. This one. Whoops, I didn't want a command on that. Well, whatever. Maybe I'll be able to do it some other way. I'm gonna go and try some of the other ones. Let's see, turn you around. Indirect control is always kind of fun in its own weird way. I didn't want that. I really don't want that to happen. Maybe I'll try and reset things here. Oh yeah, I could totally do this if I wanted to. Okay. Suddenly I'm really hyper aware of every time I'm using the words this, that, these, and those, which are just normal terms that I would normally use all the time anyway. So I don't know. Well, that was helpful. Okay, all I need to do for that is make him push the mirror somehow. So I just need to bring him down here and make him not die. Die is not the thing that I need to make him do. Turn around. If I can make him swing his sword, yeah, that's perfect. Now he'll go kill that eye. One eye down! Hooray! I'm trying to bring him to the southmost row somehow. I'm not sure how to achieve that, though. Because he's always gonna... There we go. Okay, so now just use some roaches to turn him around. Bring him this way, not that far. Bring him here. Now I need him to turn his sword. And not... Yeah, okay. That's right. So now the only problem is this far northwest orb that I'm really not sure at all what to do with. How do I make you hit that orb? I'm not allowed to put things past these tiles, so that's worth mentioning. How do I make you hit this orb without killing you? Huh. His turnabout. So if I put something way over here, he's going to turn that way. So I guess I need him to be facing... Oops. Way back here. I need him to be facing a direction like that, but in a location like this, I think. I can't put an orb on the spike. Did I say orb? I think I meant roach when I said orb. So even though it would technically be more efficient to... Alright, I think I'm just redoing things that I've already done before, and that's not helpful. There. Okay, he finally hit the other orb. Okay, that certainly occurred. Okay, so I can place a decoy. And I'm guessing that I'm not permitted to put them on these. So the idea is to place decoys to make the very hungry adder push all these buttons so that something will happen. Cool. He's already gone off track. So wait, I can place as many decoys as I want, right? This is going to be awfully silly, but maybe it'll work. I don't know. This is totally not going to work. Oh, he can't move now. I guess I needed to put one over here somewhere. Maybe like this. Now he won't move again. Okay, my grand plan of just filling the hole, of putting a lot of decoys in, might not be a good one. Let's try filling them in a more sane manner, perhaps. This is definitely not going to be the nice, efficient way to do this, but it might work. If it works, I'll be happy. I'm probably supposed to actually put him on the fire trap, though, to finish the room. So maybe my last movement shouldn't be exactly like that. I don't know, I'm just going to populate this whole area with decoys and hope that fixes the problem, which it almost certainly won't. Why did he do that? He didn't do that before, did he? Maybe I should do something like this. I'm not sure that's going to work, but I'm going to try. Nope, he went the wrong way first, for reasons that I don't actually know. So instead, maybe put the very last one there. No, now he inexplicably dives south instead of going east now. Even though he didn't when it was like this. Why did he dive south in that situation instead of going this way? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. Is this a weird move order thing? I guess so. Alright then. Leave it like that and hope it works. I think I might have internalized the tie-breaking rules backwards because I thought it would be whichever one was placed last would be targeted last, but it's actually targeted first, I guess. Anyway, place soldiers. Okay. Here is a place where you can destroy broken walls. Alright, now I've looked at this. I've looked at that. I also want to look at this. Okay, so this is functionally the same idea as before, but now it's not exactly the same. Yes.
Exterminate.
Whoops. So my goal is what? To make him put the construct on the button? That seems kind of hard, given that I'm never going to get him to go south.
Exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate.
Yeah, there's not really a way to make him go farther south, is there? I guess that'll work, actually.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
Sort of.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
Dude, no.
Exterminate.
Maybe I'll just put a roach in that guy's way.
Exterminate.
That didn't help.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
There we go. Alright, now the door's open. I guess that I'll need him to open that door later at some point. So here I'm basically trying to control a construct by controlling a soldier by controlling where roaches spawn. Just an extra layer of insanity on top of the rest. So there's a trap door. Okay, that's the construct's job, is to eventually push that trap door. No. Now there's hot tiles that will kill this guy. Yeah, I really think that that was probably the best starting point. Which makes it really good that that was alphabetically first, so I technically didn't... Right, at least I understand backswiping well enough to force him to do it.
Exterminate.
I'm not sure, but I think I might be better off trying to make the construct die on the western one. I mean, I don't think it really makes that much of a difference anyway. Alright, maybe this will work. Yeah, perfect. Now I just need to bring the... Yep, there we go. Now I'll turn it around so it won't die when the construct wakes up. Okay, I think that was a scripting thing that happened there. I accidentally put a roach underneath where the soldier was, which made it spawn after the soldier did his thing. Anyway, next order of business is to push this, and then that. Oh boy. So I need to push this, kill the construct in this region, and then hit that. So the construct will go kill himself on the spike, and then the goblins will happen. Yeah, that's how I would describe that event. I think that Draw Touch might not have been as much of a complete surprise to me had I played this first. Because apparently, and I wasn't aware of it prior to Draw Touch, but apparently Skell's kind of signature style, perhaps, involves doing completely insane things with Drawd code that you wouldn't have imagined possible. This is a really bad situation overall. Let's, Okay. That'll work. How do I not let him die here?
Exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate.
How do I get you over there? Actually, that would be fine if I could not have him immediately die to spikes. Or pot tile, I mean.
Exterminate. 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 Exterminate.
Yeah, that's not going to end well. This is perhaps a bad position that I actually need to undo back before. I'm not sure though. Let's try this.
Exterminate.
Nope.
Exterminate. 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 Exterminate.
If it didn't take me a turn to move up here to place a roach, then I could probably... Well, no, he turned his sword instead. No, that wouldn't work. There we go. That didn't really accomplish anything, I say. Don't know why I said there we go, but whatever. Maybe I should try and pull the construct back out of this position, because I feel like that's a big part of the problem right now, is the construct being stuck there. Back up. It's like the reverse backswipe. You do something to force someone else to backswipe. It's kind of insane. I remember Narrow Perspectives. It wasn't completely scripting stuff, but it did have some kind of insane scripting to it still. I guess not insane, but it had some skillful scripting to make things work the way you wanted it to, if that makes any sense. That's not gonna work. I don't know how to get this guy on the button, or make someone else push it. That was close. If I could do this, and then he would turn back around, that would be perfect. Maybe...
Exterminate.
Wait, isn't this what I did before? Oh no, it's... Go back. There was some way I got a roach to push the button for me, but I seem to be failing at it now. I guess...
Exterminate.
No. How did I do that? I don't remember how I made a roach push this button. Oh, okay. He needs to turn his sword... Okay. So that it's facing that way when the roach wants to hit him. And then I need to somehow cause him to turn around afterward, because I just... I cannot for the life of me figure out how to make him get over... Like, he's never going to go over there. So it has to be a roach or the construct that pushes the button. Only it has to be in a way that makes him go back afterward, which I really don't know how to do. If I could place a roach here, I could make him backswipe so that it wouldn't... But I can't place a roach here because of because I can't put a roach on hot tile. I don't know what to do.
Exterminate.
Oh, I need to take a short break. I will be right back. I was thinking about it during that break, but strictly speaking, it's not even necessarily that the scripting is insane here, because this is mostly something I could conceive of how I would script it if you told me how it should work. It's more the matter of having the idea to make something like this, and then also presenting it so well, I guess.
Exterminate.
Which I'm sure has something to do with the fact that he's an actual professional game developer, which most people who make drawn holds are not. Maybe I would... I would feel more confident in any plan at all if I didn't constantly have a construct trying to murder him while I'm trying to make him do things. That's kind of an extra problematic layer on top of everything else. Because it feels like I just do not have time to turn him all the way around if I wanted to do that. Because by the time I get him turned around, then the construct is awake and either killing him or compelling him to leave again. No. Too far. Okay, there. I guess that's what I needed to know to do. Okay, that... Is he gonna survive the construct? No. So, alright, after he gets the button... I need to quickly turn him / move him enough that he can hit the construct without any problem. Okay, now... Heck. Now I need him to face east and run out of there far enough to lure the construct into this box, this very cramped box that the construct will not be happy about going into at all. Can he survive? Yeah, okay, no problem with surviving. I guess that's okay. Now I need to maneuver the construct into this place somehow. That's almost good. I just kind of need the construct to make one more step in here, maybe. Yeah, so he needs to either move the steps north or something, I don't know. Wrong way. Okay, maybe this one? No, he'll kill it before it can do anything. There we go. Force him to make at least one move while the construct's trying to do things. Now it's quote-unquote just a matter of making him push this ore. Okay, not too hard, just don't want him to die in the process. Alright, great. And now he needs to survive goblins, which he is astoundingly good at doing. Okay, cool. I beat both versions of that entrance. Well, technically once north, once west, I guess. Actually, hang on. That's, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. The center, the quote-unquote entrance, is considered to be in the middle as per the custom text of things. And wow, look at this mishmash down here. So is the motion of those, well, what the heck? Oh, I guess, okay, I saw motion from Beethro when I wasn't doing anything, while I was trying to figure out something else. So, the presumably image overlay or something, the wubbas here, the puffs, sorry. The puffs seem to be moving in a pattern of some sort, which I'm sure has something to do with the meta puzzle that I've heard about existing here. But also I was being confused because periodically Beethro is apparently teleported onto the checkpoint and back again. So that's cool. Well, this looks different. Place soldiers. Oh, it's not actually different. It's still placing soldiers. Is their direction... Okay, they have a default direction of north. Cool. What is the deal here? I can't place a guy in there. Wait, what? Now they're facing south. Does it depend on... Wait, what? How... How does it determine which way they're facing? I guess it just depends on where they are. So anything south of this row, including this row, is south. Anything north of that row is north. Okay. What am I supposed to tap? This? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is an event and a half. I probably should have done the easy mode version before trying that one, though. Decoys. Oh boy. I do like it was felt necessary to specify that adder behaves like a normal adder, though. Oh hey, these decoys get swords, because they're not on Ormites, duh. I don't know what my goal is exactly, but I'm gonna try this and see what happens. So, what's the idea here? There's probably some kind of size limit or something. I don't know. Well, I solved at least one room in this and at least one room in that, right? That has to count for something. Are these single level holds, or are there multiple levels to these? I would believe that they're single level, given the presentation of everything. Not counting whatever exists beyond the meta puzzle, I mean. Well, anyway, I feel inclined to move on and try this, and make this the last one for today. Hopefully it won't be completely face-melting, since I now see that it's a Larry Mercold. What would happen if the person who coined the phrase "think outside the box" really wanted to put it to a test, period, instead of question mark? Why, they'd devise a bunch of devious puzzles, and then they'd invite none other than Beethro Budkin to check them out. Should be an exclamation point if you're starting with why. If Beethro couldn't think outside the box, comma, then who could? Think outside the box lobby. What would won't happen. Well, same exact thing. Whether you've ever done it before or not, this hold will require you to think outside the box. Welcome, stranger. That'd be Beethro Budkin. Righto. Well, Mr. Budkin, have you ever heard the phrase think outside the box? Sure. Righto. Well, I came up with it. Originated it? Coined it. You want a medal or something? Most people don't give it a second thought anymore. Which is why I've developed these puzzles. Puzzles that require one to think outside the box. Righto, precisely. And how many puzzles must I solve? Righto, that'd be 4 levels each with 4 puzzles. Quite simple, really. See you on level 1. Righto. I feel like Beethro is saying that sarcastically in response to her saying that a bunch of times. Thanks to Blondebeard, Doom, and Syntax for testing. So something worth mentioning, for the most part within setting, Drawd never refers to its rooms as puzzles. At least not that I can recall. Not usually. Does even Archie ever refer to as puzzles? I think they're just rooms or traps or something like that. Oh well, Top B1. Righto then, Mr. Budkin. Here are the first 4 puzzles. Great, I can't wait. Alright, so here's the thing. What is the goal in this thing? So I want to push these to open all 4 doors and then put the Wubba back on the button. Okay. Well, okay, I don't want to do that, so... So I guess I shouldn't start going that way. There we go. How do I make you not on the corner anymore? Because I have to do that at least once. I don't really see a way to do that from such a position as that one. So clearly I need to do this differently somehow. Yeah. How do I get you off a corner? I feel like if he's in the corner and I'm in the corner, then I've already lost, so that can't be right. I need the Wubba to kind of stand like in a place like this while I'm in a tunnel that can go west or something. Or in a place like... Or maybe this will work. Yeah, there we go. That's what I need to do. Hooray, 3 out of 4 dead. So not this, but pull him a bit that way, and then go north, south. There we go. And then he just needs to push the central button once more, and I'm done. Poor Wubba still died even after doing all that hard work for me. Okay. So here, once again, there are 4s involved. The Roach, so this is just a Roach maze. I just need the Roach to go push 4 buttons for me while he's on his way through his maze. Alright. I'm looking for a way to begin with to turn him around so that he will go on the button to the west. I might have to go pretty far afield to get him there, though. Probably as far as that, maybe. This'll work. Yeah, okay. Now back outside of the forest of deadly hot tiles. I don't know why I felt like describing it as a forest. I just did. Why am I turning my sword? I don't know. If I did that sort of thing, then I would be a really terrible optimizer. If I were an optimizer, then I wouldn't do that sort of thing. There we go. I can words. So I don't want him to go to the outermost ring, which means I have to put him in this one because it's the only option. And then after that, then what? I can't pull him west. Actually, hang on, I can fix this. If I walk all the way over here, and you'll skate across my sword, and then I can make him go right even further. Hooray, sword skating. Okay, hang on, should I... I guess I need to do it this way, and then I can pull him across there like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then finally I just need to put him back in a favorable position to leave. Kind of problematic, that. Where can I put you now? Maybe I just need to erase him a little bit. Yeah, and then put him back on the pockets in the top. Pardon me. Alright, now you can die. Hooray! 2 down. So far I've been doing an awful lot of thinking inside the box instead of outside of it, it feels like. So here there's just 2 buttons for this queen to maze her way to, but there's a lot more hot tiles. I think I need to time this so she'll put a roach there? Well, no, she won't spawn on hot tiles, right? Yeah, so if I block her off, then I'm going to lose her. Which, maybe that's okay, and what I need is 2 roaches from then on, or something? I'm just a little concerned about that. I'm sure there's some reason why roach won't do here. Probably something to do with the mechanism in the north. I've just noticed there's a big wall preventing me from going a certain way. Yeah. Maybe I should just push her all the way there? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So at this point, if I do this, I can't go past there, so I have to push her east somehow, but in a way that won't kill her? Maybe I should try pushing her all the way to the other pocket? From here I can do this with no problem, but then I have no way to get her back out. This is kind of the same format twice, so there must be something about it. Okay, you can pull her back in there, that's fine. Why couldn't I do that on the other side? Maybe I could, but I think that the... oh, hi. Poorly timed. I think the problem is that if I try to do the exact same thing over here, she's going to do that. And I can't have that. So I'll try putting her back in the east pocket and see about doing it differently. Oh, what the heck? Okay, yeah, so I can't do this either. Because she'll just... So it has to go in from that side, but it can't go out on that side, but I can't go around, so what can I do? It works from this side, but there's no way to make anything like that work on the other side because she just gets stuck in this pocket up here. And I can't push her from the east either because there's no way to get her back out again. So what am I supposed to be able to do then? I've tried every available thing, though. I can't have her spawn somewhere, because she'll just block herself and get killed. Going to the south edge of the room won't help. And neither does going to the north end of the room help. I mean, for the most part, any move that I could make toward the south edge of the room is just going to kill the queen anyway. So it's rather pointless to try. Well, I know I'm supposed to spawn a roach up there. Maybe it can run south after it kills the snake. That's the only guess I have. 5 turns too soon. Okay, I have to manage some snake cycle nonsense here as well. Because 30 is not divisible by 4. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay then. Just make the roach do it. Fugendos. Is this the Fugendo desync puzzle type of thing? Feels like it. So ultimately I just need one to hit each of these orbs/eyes. But I probably need to bonk someone on one of these islands to make that happen. Not sure if I can do that though. Everything is perfectly symmetrical here, right? There's not really anywhere that I can bump one of them and not the other. Unless, of course... Yeah, I can still hit the orb if I can get at it from the west, then. Okay. That's probably the whole trick, I hope. Hooray! I figured out the whole trick. Well done, Mr. Butkin. I'm glad to see you enjoying my creations. Enjoying might be a bit strong. The thing is, though, all of these puzzles require you to do all of your thinking physically inside of the box. Right? Oh boy, is this going to be a horde room? I think this is going to be a horde. This is about to be a horde room. Because those are perfectly capable of spawning things. And they will be brain things that get spawned. Well, yeah, but if you told me that the Hold's theme and name was thinking outside the box, I would expect there to be like puzzle elements that were outside the box that were like a part of the solution. Let me try something that's not a horde room, maybe. Is this also a horde room? It doesn't look like it is. For once, Beethro himself goes into the box. What is the deal with all these buttons? So this opens that, this opens that, this, that. There's trapdoor gates, which are bad. So ultimately I need to open... Okay. I need to open the doors relevant to the middle guys with the trapdoor gates somehow before... Isn't this really simple? Well, mostly. Not entirely, though. Okay. Maybe I'll try pulling him really far to the east. I can't quite do that. And I can't... Can I get around him? Alright, so the sticking point is just one particular button, either the far east one or the far west one. It needs to be pushed before Beethro can kill this roach or go inside the box. Or I could close the loop here. Not close the loop, but hopefully it's clear what I mean. I could make it so that I don't have to hold on to him to keep him from going through. And then he can still push that. And... no, okay. So this is designed so that's not possible, because there's exactly in the way of that. But if I could pull them north after dropping the trapdoor, but before being in a position that risks them going where I don't want them to go. Alright, pull you way over here. Then I'm going to push that. Keep going this way. Pull that one north, and that's not really helpful. I guess I can only spend a half turn to the west of that guy, which is no good. Or actually, hang on. Why don't I just pull him through the other way, not like that? I hope that makes sense. So after I push all the buttons, why don't I just go all the way to the east and pull this guy up? Because I still can't get him west. Alright. Well, then I don't know what the deal is here. It has to be possible to push the button, of course, without doing a bad thing. Though come to think of it, Mithro can't enter anyway because he'd be stuck inside. So the trapdoor is entirely to create an obstruction for this roach so he can't leave that loop. But that doesn't really matter because there's no way... If I could get all the way, if I could pin him so that I can get all the way over here, say, then that would be perfect. Can I do that? I don't think so. The trouble being that he has enough time to get away from me before I can do that. So as soon as he crosses over past this point, there's no way to pull him west anymore. But while he's there, I can pull him back the other way if I want to. But that's not very helpful. Yeah, I don't know. This would be kind of trivial if there were a tunnel where these checkpoints are to take me north-south, but obviously that's why they're not there. I don't get it. There's no way to push the other button. I cannot race this roach quickly enough. It's just way too far. I don't think there's a way to lure him back in there if I let him out. That seems really unlikely. I mean, I can get around him, sure, but that's not enough to lure him back into the box. You know, I can't outpace him quickly enough to do that. I'm wondering if there's meant to be some asymmetry that I can take advantage of, but I don't see any. It looks to me like everything is perfectly symmetrical, so any solution should be able to be reflected on its side. Anything that is an actual solution to this. Okay, it is possible to do that. Okay. I guess I just wasn't trying hard enough before. And the trapdoor is a complete red herring apart from not letting me through into where the buttons are. Okay. Sure. Here's a queen and literally nothing else. So the goal is just to stick her on that hot tile. But of course, the problem is that there are always going to be roaches in the way now. Now that there's a roach in the way, there's always going to be a roach in the way. You should fear if you run upon a Larry Merc room and there's just one element, you should probably be very concerned. That's what my feeling is. I mean, there's technically more elements than the queen, but in a certain sense, the only thing in this room is a queen. If that makes any sense. Hooray, I can make exactly one step forward this way. Is that enough? I don't think it is, but it could be. Force her to spawn behind herself and then kill the things in front of her. Now, unfortunately, I've used up that trapdoor, so now anytime I go west, I'm going to take up more time to do it. Maybe... okay. I guess this is the idea then. I have to go all the way back up to the top again to do things though. Let her spawn a second guy. Alright. Wait. Alright, this doesn't turn out to be too bad overall, I guess. I'm gonna be maximum safety, even though I'm sure it's not necessary to be this paranoid about it. And when I say maximum safety, I'm referring specifically to preventing her from going east at all by forcing her to spawn the maximum roaches to her east, so that entire area is covered. I'm sure that the most efficient solution to this won't do that. Actually, I should probably... No, that's fine, actually. Yeah, we're good. It's done. The puzzle's done. We finished it. We solved it. What is the demo? What does the max efficiency demo look like? Wolf Castle. That's a sweet name. I've never heard of Wolf Castle before. So the maximum efficiencies involve spawning things like that. Neat. Not much eastward spawning like what I was doing. Oh boy. We get exactly we get exactly as many hot tiles as are necessary to kill all 4 golems. And there's probably some kind of ordering system here. I'm not sure, but I think I can still do this. It's possible that I've already messed up. Actually, I think I have. Because, how do I explain this? I think each of these hot tiles represents a certain numerical requirement in terms of how many golems that need to be alive to cross it. Okay, maybe not. I don't see any way to let a guy survive on that hot tile. Maybe it's a move order thing and it's asymmetrical in behavior though. No, I don't think so. Oh, yes it is. Okay, whatever. Fine. So the middle bottom one, I think, requires 4 to be stacked up, probably. Somehow. And then I know that the west one requires 3, and maybe the east one doesn't somehow? I don't know. I'm not really sure. how to go about getting them on there. The thing is, the north one is completely free, so I really do not want to be using that one first. That's the one that I can definitely do with just one golem, I think. The problem is they're lining themselves up horizontally instead of vertically, which is really unhelpful. That almost works, but not really. That should be a drawn meme. My solution almost works, but not really. Okay. Well, I did that by accident, so maybe... It's just the center one that I'm most concerned about. I feel like if I can get that one, the others will be much more understandable. Maybe I need to stack these guys up in exactly the right way or something. I'm not very good at move order shuffling, mostly because it seems it's not the sort of thing that I ever want to have to do. Oh, you know what? I'll take it. I think he got caught behind someone who moves slower than he does, and that's why that happened. But I don't care. I'm happy with that. That's fine. I'll take it. I will take yes for an answer, as long as it doesn't mean that I have to take no later. At least in terms purely of draw puzzles. So how did I arrange it so that one of the guys just bumped into that earlier, I wonder? The spacing here is symmetrical with the west one, so it has to be possible to get one of these with just two golems. And I don't imagine that whether I do the east or the west one first should matter, although I guess it's possible it does anyway, even though it shouldn't. I think I had them like in the middle somewhere and then pulled them around somewhat. Maybe there's a trick using the other one. Using the ones that have already been done. Maybe not. Shaking rock golems around inside of a big box. Oh boy. If I could prevent him from moving north on his first turn. So is that the right order to do that? No. So I need to turn them about so that the one who was not in the corner before is in the corner now. So like that. There we go. Perfect. That's how you use two of them. And then the last one, as I said, is free. Alright. That was neat. I'm glad that I caught on very quickly that I should have waited and that I should save the north one for last, because otherwise I would have been very frustrated after a while. Okay, now for this monstrosity, which I still am not sure about. Welcome to the levels, the holds like obligatory horde room, but not obligatory in the sense of it being lazy, just in the sense of Well, I guess this is a Larrybar cult after all. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be survivable. Unfortunately, there's nowhere safe to exist. There's maybe the idea is to kill the queens so quickly that you don't have as big of a horde and it's easier to survive or something. I don't know. The problem is that on top of being something else I have to manage in general, the Mimic creates like a situation where I'm not allowed to go everywhere. It reduces my maneuverability for dealing with the horde to have this Mimic stapled to me at the same time, is what I'm trying to say, kind of. Yeah, it doesn't seem possible to kill more than a couple of the queens. And I feel like if I were to have him kill the brain first, it would probably make things even worse, not better. Oh yeah. Somehow it didn't occur to me, but they're unbrained until they get out of the box, aren't they? That makes this even weirder to manage, in some ways. Because I have a brained horde that flows toward me from a distance like an unbrained one. If that makes any sense. He's gonna get out of the box if I keep doing this. Okay, that might be my difficulty wall for this hold. I beat 7 rooms, I just don't know how to do the horde room. What a surprise. I don't know, maybe I should have gone... Maybe I should go for the nearer ones first or something? I just don't know. Yeah, okay, I can get 3 of them right away. It's everything after that that's going to be tough. That makes 4, but now I'm in a bit of a problem. Because a corner is a really, really bad place to be in this situation. On the one hand, it's advantageous if I can get a roach to sit on one of the queen spaces, because at least that way the Mimic won't walk onto that space anymore. But on the other hand, I'm going to have to clean those up eventually, and I'm not sure, like, does the Mimic have enough motion capability to do that by the time I'm rid of the queens? I guess if I fill all of them, then it's like an easier version of killing the queens the first time around, right? Now he just needs to get way to the west. trying to set it up where he can bump his back against the brain, though, or something. Maybe I could just let him bump his back against the spawns until then. Actually, this isn't so bad if I can cut the horde like this. Right, now he can get west and finish the queens, I think. Well, now he stands a much better chance of getting west to finish the queens anyway. Let's be very careful about this. Recenter him a bit. Alright, almost done with the queens. Alright, this is very intimidating room, but it's not as hard as it initially looks, I guess. It's not, it feels very different from all the other rooms, and that it's not like there's a singular trick to it. It's more like you have to do things the right way, kind of. I should probably bonk him so he can go way east before I kill a thing that I'm bonking him against. I guess so. If that's your definition of tactics room. Which I'm not questioning that that's the right decision. I'm not necessarily saying that's even the wrong definition for that. I just don't usually... It's just terminology that I don't tend to use at all myself. I don't know. How do I reach the last roach? There. Okay. Alright. Level 2 beaten. Amazing. That's half of the hold. It is around 5. Congratulations, Mr. Budkin. Another level completed. Are we thinking outside the box yet? I'm thinking of getting outside this building. Only 2 more levels to go. Alright. I feel like this is enough for today. I've gone an hour past 4. I've done this, that, and 2 other holds. So next time, I guess it's time for Tiger. I don't know what that means. Look how much tea there still is. Look how much tea there still is. And that's ignoring the element showcase, which... Wait, no, that's the showcase, not the element containing thing? Or whatever, anyway. Eventually we'll finish tea and get to you, but not today and not next week. Actually, I'm traveling next weekend, so I don't think I'll stream next weekend, but the weekend after that, still probably won't finish tea. For the moment, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of the weekend. Stay safe. And farewell for now. Now with 3% fewer floor tiles. Was that actually calculated? An experience that's more easily experienced with experience. Trap door over troubled water, and I heard it through the briar vine.